I think the thing I like about it is has that balance of sort of him being able to set up Zipan, who I do agree, I think can be one of the best Raizers in the world and has been in the past. But he also has the ability to pop flash himself and just go and try and kill everyone, which, if anybody doesn't know, this man is probably one of the longest standing players who played CSGO back in the day. If any man is going to be able to pop flash himself into positions, I think it's going to be Angel.
Well, we saw it just in the previous game. Oldest player in the tournament is Angel. He's under pressure here. 40 HP, and his nade has gotten a kill. Isolated Sushi Boys, and taking him down. Surf is gone as well. He did it in the last map on Pistol, and he's somehow doing it again. 3 kills under his belt, and Xerxia are desperately trying to recover any advantage. And it seems like, well, a tough task. Crew's certainly up to it, starting out with the first.
Trying to bait somebody in off the plant, but the fact is they're looking to try and play this together. Angel's desperately low. This now starts to become a real worry for the likes of FPX, because as you said, this round pretty much looked done. Cider's wraparound, though, might be a bit of a surprise. They're trying to bait the plant. He's actually going to be in the perfect position. Cruz stands back up and takes him down as well. This is starting to simmer away, just drift away from the side, and it's going to be Cruz. Anything you can do, he can do better. 4 kills in the pistol round.
The word is not slow-mo, but can we get a very slow-mo of that plant into headshot from Cruz? I don't know how he could have done that. That was insane. Okay, so that's the first. Here. Get out of here, dude. What? I need to see that like 7 more times. That was unreal. I'm going to have that on loop tonight before I go to bed. Oh, my. Well, 4 kills for Cruz. Pretty good pistol.
So, you know that guy earlier that said, please don't jinx FPX, and you went, he's done it in the last pistol, he's done it again, and then they lost. That guy's not going to like you very much.
No, I don't think he is. I will say, I don't think many people have seen that coming. You know? Oh, good nade. It's not got him. He just about rounded the corner. Good movement, solid stuff. Still some damage being done here, down to a 2v2. I'm getting a little bit worried here, Tom. I'm going to be honest. Foxy is gone as well. It's on the Sushi Boys. Now he wins these. He wins these every single time. He's got a Spectre, low HP on the other side. Good kill already. Artist needs a headshot, misses the first. Oh, that could have been awkward, and it is. It is indeed. With Artist on a triple, they will win the second round. If this is a sign of what's to come, I don't think my heart's going to be able for this game.
He wins this every single time.
Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now, to be honest, actually. I'm just going to...
Mitch Man's going to become Mute Man in a sec. We're going to start unplugging all the cables. You can see our sound guy just panic in the background.
Listen, it's balanced. You know, I cursed one team, you got to curse the other. You know, now I'm done. Now we'll leave it.
Yeah, now it will return to normality, right?
No, I can't say that, because then, see, Tom, you don't seem to understand how this works. That's what's on the screen. He's got a knife in his hand. Wow. Third round. Pistols.
He doesn't have a knife in his hand.
The attackers. That's a good point. He doesn't. It was in the wall. Now it's gone, and they've seen all.
Oh no!
Mechanical breakdown here. That's a disaster.
Is that another win for the Spacebar gang? I feel like it might be. Honest, he's done a lot of damage. Still, though, the trade's come back. I'm seeing more frenzy kills than I ever really wanted to, and somehow managing to walk back in. Rolling Thunder utilized, but Zipan's going to fight both off the back. FPX, win it. It was kind of, it was relatively clean.
He was off his feet, but he fell right back on top of them. That was absolutely gorgeous. Little double spray, but of course only up against pistols, and I think bar the Rolling Thunder investment, you can be pretty happy with how that one's gone, and the opportunities were there for it to extend further. The
thing is, I know it. Right, I'm going to interrupt you. I know we have our stats guy Rob. Normally the challenges we give him are to like find out different things within the game. I'd like you to count how many times Mitch curses around. We're currently on 2, so anything that he says will happen, like, oh, he's about to do this, and it doesn't. That counts as a curse. So just bear in mind, we're on 2 so far.
I don't think he's going to be able to get that from the API. I think you've given him a pretty
I know.
tough task.
I'm a horrible person, but if he can do it, then hey.
Well, I'm saying nothing from this point forward. Already put into a 4v4. Angel doing well with 2 quick kills. He goes down, can be res back up. They got to deal with him still. And there he is, spraying right back. Cider able to trade. He's holding on decently. They're getting a lot of control. But Scary, in 1v2, he's got a chance. And the first, well, it almost went his way. Those shots just grazing the top of the head, but not quite connecting. We will end up with a third round for FPX.
Yeah, stabilizing after those last couple of rounds. Definitely a bit shakier, but they've got themselves into a very good position. Like, the economy, even though the rounds haven't necessarily been clean, has been put in a spot where they can buy in the operator. They're still going to have rifles on the majority of players, and will still even be able to purchase some into the next round. And that's now coming up against what will be somewhat of an eco. It's not going to be much of an investment here whatsoever from Xerxia. So the only real worry for me is the fact that if they can get Surf onto the Bladestorm, it's a very different round. We've seen that already within this series. Surf without Bladestorm and a pistol, he's all right. With the Bladestorm, he could win you the round on his own.
That's why Xerxia are calling this timeout as well, right? Not only to balance their investments, figure out where they want to be putting this info round towards, but also deciding if they're going to go for one of those orbs. If Surf's going to have the opportunity to pick up this Bladestorm that could be and has been the difference maker in the past. Sure, that operator, attack side, not likely to come out, but we know that defense, they can pick up the rounds. The thing is, they have got to build the foundation here in this half. You've got to be walking out with enough runway that they can have that poor start. They can lose the pistol and buy their time to that 5th round when Surf gets that scope weapon in his hand.
That's the thing, and the switch up in their composition, it almost revolves on this
Oh,
attack.
come on! Come on! All right, well...
Mitch, can you read that one out, please?
Yeah, I think it says something about Angel. His flashes have been really good, something like that.
I forgot that you can't read.
Yeah, I know. You throw me under the bus. You always do this to me. Come on, man. The Irish education ain't what it used to be.
Oh, God. But once it's not me insulting the Irish. Either way, Angel, that was one of his flashes, you know? It was really good. And actually, there's a Paranoia out on the other side, completely deterring from any sort of push. Artis on C has already been able to find one back, and he has defense, making sure that no one can make the way through the garage. It still seems to be an attempted push in towards this B site, however. I just want to say, if Angel blinds himself this round with a flash, I'm going to laugh my head off. He doesn't have one anymore. That's sad.
No, he doesn't. That would be more impressive now. That's been a shutdown from Artis. Picking up 3 kills. Okay. Picking up 3 kills. Those orbs as well, contributing towards having his tour de force online. But it's the key thing, the operator. It's had that impact in this round for FPX now, and I think Artis might be getting a little bit jealous. Looking on the other side, these guys are saying Surf's really good at the off, but like, I can do that.
That's the thing. I feel like...
Walks on water, this guy.
Other than maybe when he used to play Split for G2 and was on that Raze and was just unbelievable, this was the map I always think of when I think of Artis. Like,
Yeah, sure.
I think the way that he used to fight the extremities, I'm sure as the map goes on, he's going to get cheekier with how far he's willing to push, and also just playing that almost rotational op. He's now on that A site looking to take the same fight in this round.
That's 8-1 right now. Let's see if they can add a second death to that. They can. Surf up drafting with the Bladestorm. Like we said, it's been the difference maker before, and now it's secured him an operator potentially. They can slow this round down completely, Tom. There is no rush on the attacker side anymore.
Well, yeah, and the Seeker's become so much more valuable the more players he's able to eliminate, just to give them that extra information in these slower scenarios. Angel looks like he might be about to attempt something, though. Almost just spotting for the information. He's going to go back in with Shao and actually just decimates Surf on the other side. Goes for the repeat, though, and Cruz is waiting. Has spotted a couple of players, and the rest of the team are going to try and move in for support.
He barely held on there. Fraction of HP, and he'll be taken down eventually. That's the spike. They've got it stuck in the corner, but the smoke down out of Xerxia, it's not really going to give them the opportunity to hold that control. Even Cider is having to stick towards this C site, as they've just got no manpower to hold on to this control. There's so many gaps that they can be exploiting, and through garage and through mid, but Xerxia are still going towards the part of the map with 2 players. They've no way to know that, but they made the wrong call.
But they've still got the Tiger. The Tiger could clear things out, but I guess they wanted to go for the element of surprise. Shao is going to be isolated, but the trade is there, and now even having the paint shells back online, it's delayed. Nice shot, though, from Scary. That entry into the site turns it into a 1v1. After plant, Paranoia, smokes. a couple of shrouded steps, but I think that paranoia might be the main piece here. If Scary even gives him the chance, reading everything perfectly for the Red Bull clutch.
He couldn't have done it better. In that situation, no stars online and none refreshing, so you're not even an agent anymore. He had his ult, and that was about it as an Astra. So going aggressive like that and taking raw fights, it was the right play. You sit under heaven, you sit sight, you risk the paranoia coming through. You risk it being that important piece of the retake that you hinted at it could be. So instead, he just takes the fight right to him. Beautiful stuff. Insider was not expecting that. Scary. Clutching out the round and giving Xerxia a second. A foothold in this half. Still, they're going to face heavy opposition coming into this one. Again, they dealt with Artis last round on the Blade Storm, catching him off guard on an angle he didn't think he could possibly be exposed to. Now they've got to deal with him in another way.
Well, that's the thing. There's only so many times you're going to have the Blade Storm. Instead, though, Cosmic Divide put down straight away to give them access to the site. Paranoia from Cider. He's actually going to go peeking, but left off the back of the flash, stunned up, and well, the swing, risky as hell, and it doesn't work.
Oh, the nade's actually going to cause some problems. It didn't kill him, he just got out. Caught on the way back, but traded. So many players on long. They have to wait for this to fade, and Artis will hope that his off is going to be enough, but they would have to go peeking him. They would have to make mistakes. In fact, Tom, look at what they're up against. They've smoked themselves off?
Yeah, smoked it off just to go for the spam, but it might get to the point where they almost have to run through it. The nade actually jumped into by Surf, but they still have themselves a grab wall. They know that there's nobody on this spike, and the time already being bought relatively low. There needs to be a kill or two, and look at the wraparound. They are buying time for this rotation to come through. It should be free, but actually, he's managed to find the kill with the nade. I don't know if there's enough time. I think it's going to be heartbreaking for Zipan. A nice attempt, but it's not quite there. Absolutely ridiculous that he even made that one close. And I think Mitchman might have just broken his microphone.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I caught the box while it was falling, so it's okay. That one, he knocked me off my feet. I cannot believe that. Beautiful. The nade down, the walk back, and it's just that unexpected bit of movement, right? The guy's going forward, you decide to take the shot, and then I do wonder how much of it comes down to just knowing those players are close. Oh, unlucky Zipan. Oh, very unlucky Zipan. He wishes he didn't use that second blast pack now, I bet, and they heard it. So they're ready for him to be close. In goes the Trailblazer. Now he's in trouble. Rolling Thunder gonna try and catch him. It's got both. Zipan's down. Up close here, an opportunity! But Shao whiffs it completely. Artis only good for one. That is an absolute disaster of an A-hole.
Yeah, and again, only 2 players remaining to try and get anything done. I feel like there would have to be a mistake made from the side of Xerxia. Again, these more direct approaches to round are the ones that just work out for them. So quick to almost make that take happen, clearing out 3 players that were waiting, and while I almost wonder if it would have just been worth the remaining 2 players on FPX trying to save. Like, they are just fighting up against a brick wall, it seems.
Xerxia look really good right now. I mean, the synergy on some of these pushes, even just the awareness, like, they don't let anything slip. Once FPX make a mistake, immediately there is a response. There is an answer to it. We saw it on Bind, but right here, they're also elevating their own level of play, like we saw on the previous map. Surf, I feel like I'm not even seeing half of what I'm going to from this guy. Defensive side excites me with it ahead of him, but he has certainly figured out this attack. The amount of space he's gaining and success in duels. The dash onto site, he should never have killed Xiao here.
No.
Never. 30 HP left, like, come on. And it's the fact with 30 HP, Artis kills him, and then they trade him.
Yeah.
So instead of that being a kill for Xiao and then 2 players holding a choke point, it's site lost, and they get 1 kill for it.
This round's pretty interesting. It almost looks like we're seeing the tour de force being saved for the buy round. And instead, Artis is just going to try and use a rifle as a hero rather than actually using the tour de force as such a wonderful combo. It's rare that you see teams actually get caught out by that fade seize in combination with the nade. But they've already managed to get an opener, a second pound from Cider. Bear in mind, he still has a rifle in hand. And Angel desperately wants to...
Hello.
Zipan's gonna get the trade.
He's almost died himself because the Seeker was chasing him and it hit the showstopper. So that rocket landed right up in his face.
I'm still just trying to deal with like Angel's thought process there of like, I'll pop flash face the wrong way so I don't get flashed and just try and grab the gun and then turn around again rather than just facing the blind player with the pistol. Zipan though, he's actually going to catch Scary, trying to be a little bit cheeky. It's left all on to Cruz. He has a full belt of utility to try and fight this one back, but there are 3 players coming his way.
Yeah, it's about what they've got. Zipan with a nade in the back pocket. If they spot him before Zipan goes down. Oh, he used it just now. He had it literally a second ago. So, okay. That's being fired out. Cruz running around. Good for one. Traded out immediately. And nicely handled. Yeah, I guess he doesn't want to go into the site with it in his back pocket and then die. Just chuck it out and then see what you can get done. 5-4. Look, FPX might be in the lead, but so far, this map certainly feels like XIA are the team, you know, doing the majority of the work. And I think when you look at that timeline, having won the pistol in the fashion that they did is a ridiculous round, and then lost 4 in a row right afterwards, they're doing damn well to be this close. Oh, he could have died to that. And he would have looked so silly, but it wouldn't have been his fault.
I think he actually got the off the fact that he got the kill as well with the nade. So the one time that nade combo is going to work at the beginning,
you're right,
he then gets the showstopper and that gets him a second kill. Like, and then he even gets the third with the aggressive push coming out of Scary. I do wonder if they just played that as a team, if it would have worked out. But with the amount of success Scary's had with aggressive pushes, I can't really blame him at this point.
That's the thing. You sit back and say, oh, well, it might have lost you that round, but how many rounds did it win before that? So
the clutch he made.
Great knife out of Angel. And I think this is his 3rd map career of playing KO. He's been pretty good so far.
We've just been destroyed.
But, yeah. That ain't great. Surf was kind of going in here to be the cannon fodder. Zipan up close. That's a good swing. He's got support now, but Sushi Boys. This guy is unbelievable. You know, on the last map, his short holds on Ascent were fantastic, but went into this one here as well. Very important triple to keep them healthy in this round.
He knows there's someone around. This smoke, oh, it's a bit whippy. Eventually, we'll get the kill, but they're Scary straight away. This is what I talk about when it comes to those aggressive pushes. Like, he'll just be irritating around that space. But, yeah, from FPX, just being caught off by that to push through. I think it was the spam that ended up killing off. I think it was Cider who was at the back of the site. And he's been having a bit of a rough time with this C-site hold. Like, he hasn't had anywhere near the success that you kind of expect him to, especially with that sort of role being one that he has played quite a bit in the past. Not so much recently, but he was always
unbelievable. The individual performances they're pulling out at times in some of these clutch moments.
Oh, it's so clever. He expected the stun to come through from previous rounds, dodges it initially, and then obviously on the other side, they just expect that position to be clear. They are waiting just in case he goes back for more, and considering it's Artis on the other side, I don't really blame them so much for that. But it's a real slowdown. Still just holding on to this control, even has utility towards short, and it seems like they're actually going to throw in a little bit more just to try and clear some of those angles, although I don't think anything was found.
And the real trouble with Surf going down, you know, who opens up that space? And I'm sure it'll be the Trailblazer to attempt at the start. The fallback from Artis, hit by the Rolling Thunder. A big problem for him now, rolling with that operator flashed up as well. Eventually, though, it's going to fade, and he's good to strike. Barely anyone to take down, though. A good hold from Xiao, and Artis cleans house to put 6 on the board. A very strong A-hold out of them this time around. I mean, they had more than enough players to do it. But I think the second Surf goes down, you see the trouble for XIA in getting that control and pushing into that space if they're not finding the immediate trades.
I think the other thing as well is, I don't know how many people it hit, because Xiao got all of the kills, which isn't helpful when you're looking for assists. Yeah. But he threw down Nightfall. So I think they're running into the site without being able to hear any of the moves that are being made on the other side or even really work out where the bullets are coming from. So, and also they're vulnerable. So I think that was just a really good counter, almost waiting for that Rolling Thunder to come through and then just going, okay, if you want to push us, you have to do it vulnerable.
Same attempt on that long nade.
I think they do it every round.
There's certainly been a lot of rounds that it went down. Even I think the second or third was when we first saw that debut at that third-person angle. But, well, not finding anything this time with XIA on the other side of the map. But there's plenty of presence here. Artis with the op is the least of it. They've got Cider alongside Angel. That's a lot of flash initiation capability inside a garage. And they're going to have to retake B by the looks of it. Angel. That was a flash. I thought it was his knife he was chucking in.
God is waiting till the last second to TP back out of there. It's aggressive, and Shao has stepped up over the last couple of rounds. Nice shot from Scary, but needs so much more. And it is going to be the eventual close at 7-5 for FPX. Again, a real back and forth with a few streaks of rounds going either way, but I think FPX probably going to be relatively happy with that coming out of the half.
I think you have to be. Even that last round, it was a good adaptation. I think they were very much expecting Xerxia to go for
that
further
double initiator. They got Zepan on the raise. Let's see what they've got in store.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of plans here. Already a stun coming down from Xerxia as they attempt to get their way, or at least be held.
Look at that mid push. They had all 5 players pushing mid at the beginning of the round. And now that they've not seen anyone, they've just taken such deep control. This is such a Xerxia pistol round.
Cruz was holding that stun the entire time in case they get contact so they can immediately fire it off. But obviously he doesn't want to fire it start a round because you don't want to give away what you're doing. They've now managed to root their way into these nasty little positions, and they are in a firing squad. Crouched in front, stood behind, and it's clean as can be. 2 players spotted. FPX are immediately conceding that control.
Yeah, and the thing is, in the meantime, we've also seen Foxy go back towards that A site, just in case there was the realization from FPX that this spot was initially clear. Look at the rotation from the defense. They have such a good read on what FPX almost have to do that they're going to have that set up almost ready to go the second they tap that spike.
Yeah, maybe it's taking a little bit, though. The spike's gone down. FPX will get a little bit of time to set up post-plant, but
gorgeous.
It doesn't seem to matter. Every shot's going their way. And the defuse in a 1v5 Cider, yeah, that might be a little bit too much to ask. And Cider's had a rough half. You know, these other maps, he's looked like a very good addition to this alliance, but when he moves over to this final map, it's definitely been rough in half number 1.
Yeah, and a Prime Gaming Flawless coming out from Xerxia. I like the fact that they had that little setup just going out. Again, it revolves around Surf, just taking that space back. But it's the pot flash down, he dashes out, and then it just looks so clean, the way that they actually execute through. And that's the thing I've really enjoyed with this team, especially on Ascent as well, is the fact that they're never boring. Their defensive side rounds are always innovative. They're always clever. They never just sat back and expecting, like, okay, I'll hold this, I'll hold this. It's like, okay, what are we going to do this round to try and make things difficult for FPX?
That's a great way to be. You want to come into a match and make your opponents adapt to you, not the other way around. Looks like Xerxia definitely fans of that. Sushi Boy's down, but the conversion... maybe not as good as it could have been there.
Some of the players only have pistols here. Like they're going to start retrieving some of those weapons, so I guess it's not the end of the world. But they didn't invest that heavily into this round, and it definitely has its risks.
See, the thing is, I almost don't see them winning this round. But the reality is, as long as FPX, they've already done damage. Anything from this point forward is a bonus.
Oh, okay. Wow. A little bit shaky. Cruz actually doesn't take much damage at all and is going to go back for more again. I think they've realized that there's actually quite a bit of space here. Off angle and, well, dissipating. He's gone behind them. He's run out of bullets, though. Somehow Angel's found another one, leaving it on 17 HP, but he will get himself a spike plant. Something at least in terms of the orbs, but also a chance to play with the time.
He doesn't quite get the info out of that he was hoping for, and a Trailblazer's on its way towards him. He suspects this player will be towards long at this point. The second one at least, and there it's spotted, confirmed. He now knows where both of them are, but with a Sheriff and 17 HP, yeah, the info isn't the hardest part of the round. We're going to end up at 7-7. A pistol win, a conversion from Xerxia as well. That's what we needed to see. It was missing in the first half after finding that pistol and then falling flat to a 4-1 deficit. Much better face from them starting this one out. And Tom, like we said, like the analyst desk was saying, Xerxia in making these reverse sweeps happen in BO3 series, when they go to the third, they've been good, but they're always in the lead coming in that second half here on Haven.
I think the more, I was going to ask, like, how much money are they realistically going to invest into this round because they've lost so many players? And then Surf within 2 seconds bought an operator. So this is mostly Spectres, but there's still a rifle onto Foxy, and I don't know if they'll expect him to have an op here. That is an audacious purchase. We'll see what he can get out of it.
Okay, Shrouded Step for early space. Smoke down as well. It looks like they're certainly expecting some facet of a long aggression out of Xerxia, some sort of ranged fight that they want to avoid with that smoke. Maybe they did cast a quick eye at that scoreboard and realize there's a good chance with the impact Surf's had that they find it worthwhile to put that scope in his hand. For now, Xerxia will try to conceal that. They don't want to go firing off for absolutely no reason. The surprise factor, at least in their mind, is still there.
They've already taken full C-long control. The problem is, with the execution already coming through, this flank is not going to be there quick enough. The rest of the players really need to try and delay as much as possible, and they haven't really been able to. Foxy, he runs out of bullets. Oh! How does he hit that shot? So quick on the operator, but the trades have come through. This is less of a bonus round as well. Bear that in mind. This needs to be a victory for Xerxia Sushi Boys. His opponent is so low. If he checks this corner, it should be a free kill. He doesn't check it properly, though. A mistake that might just cost them. It's Scary left with an SMG and 3 players to find.
2 of them are extremely low, so there is somewhat of an opportunity, but this is a Hail Mary. Got to get Xiao on the swing right away. He does. Good fight on Decider. And he did the damage. If that had to be an Artist on the other side, it would have been the kill. And a 1v1 after, but they chose the right angles to peek. It's 8-7. FPX picking up that round. Did they got out with the op, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Artist picked it up right at the end. That man, he could smell that operator from a mile away. Like, he was more than ready to go and retrieve it.
There you go. Xerxia are 8-2 when facing 3 or more maps. So obviously going into BO5s as well in that territory, but 8-2, a solid record.
Yeah.
FPX closing out half of their games.
Especially, you think probably a lot of their best of 5s are actually versus like APAC or something like that. So.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be deep tournament for sure. That's probably the 2 they've got long.
Yeah. Here we go though. Surf leading the charge. This is exactly what you want to see from Xerxia in these sort of rounds. Give this man the opportunity to try and do some damage. But look how deep FPX are playing. They knew that something like this was coming in this round when they saw the Blade Storm was online. Angel, he's actually missed the timing. 2 players have just crossed over. That would have probably been a free kill, but more importantly, the information of the direction they've gone. And just look, the entirety of Xerxia are now just abandoning that A site because of the early presence they showed. They went, okay, look, we've got everything. All the bells and whistles are towards this A site. You should probably go somewhere else, lads.
You do imagine, right, if you just tuck in and give them 0 extra information, they're going to make a choice. Do we go towards where we know the Blade Storm was, or where we know the Blade Storm wasn't? Still, it's the best of situations to be in. They've got the B site, so go right in the middle ground. And in this case, it is the right call. It avoids the stack either way. Oh no, the timing is terrible. Zipban pulling out the nade at a great time. Lobbing it down below, ready to kill Fox. That couldn't have been any better. Perfectly planned.
They've already got the smoke. You can tell they're just going to try and stick this all the way. Halfway gone already. This needs to be denied. And finally, someone from FPX stops this from happening. It's the nade from Zipban again. And well, although they don't get any kills, I was still a little bit scary. Prime Gaming flawless once again from FPX, and while the economy built off the back of that round.
You know what? Yeah. Great nades all around by Zipban.
Yeah.
Yep. Two kills with nade, and that couldn't criticize it if I tried.
Are we adding that as 3?
No. That was absolutely perfect.
You questioning his nade and then him getting 2 kills with it?
No, that doesn't. No,
it would be awful if
the stat was rounds. The stat was rounds, Curse, right? It was rounds.
So you're not saying his nades won the round?
Tom, listen. Let's just. I enjoy the other ones. Angel's 32. Let's get more of that stuff up there. He's gonna give that to me later for that. But they did put it on the bottom of the screen, so that's not Angel. I didn't bring it up. Well, I did. I brought it up again. But nice up shot out of Surf. Could already see it coming.
Does he know? He does know the players up above. I like the use of the haunt. Gave that extra information, and actually, Cider, I feel like he's starting to come into his own on this attack side. Plant will be coming through, and Artist has been very patient. Just waiting around the edge of this smoke for anybody to attempt to push. They're not got any utility to actually force him off. And the kill initially is free, but it'll be caught by Scary. A quick trade back, leaving this in to a 2v3, but Surf desperately low on HP. I assume because he's seized, he'll actually go back up a little bit, though.
Yeah, this has got to be Cider. He's already done so much in this round, but his position now as he groups up with Xiao. Smoke down, they'll try to play through it, and Cider, he'll get 1. Doesn't know if that defuse is still underway now. It's just been tapped yet again. It's time to swing and look for these frags. He's in for it. It's not hitting him. Oh, the timing. It's so horrendous. The bullets whizzing past his face. And just as I don't even know how he was able to step around those shooting. I was ready for him to be shot in the side of the head any moment. But that didn't come through either.
I almost feel like he
was. Oh, come on. Players. Oh, look. Cursed players. There we go. All right, okay. God damn it. Are you happy with yourself, Tom? You seem pleased. You seem pretty pleased with yourself.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm glad you are. I'm enjoying Surf on the op, man. I love some. Yeah, maybe
I know production and loving it as well. That's what's even better.
Oh yeah, I can hear the laughs from here. Having a great time, aren't they? Well, this operator on Surf going to be challenged again on the C site, and it's a tough challenge with Scary down. Good on to Angel to start it. Showstopper on its way, and he dodges it. Okay, so he's gotten out of the site. They can play a retake. That's better than it looked like it would be, and negating the Showstopper. I mean, you can't be happy with it.
Yeah, at least I guess it forced them off, but 4v4, no ults available, at least for that defensive side. Paranoia just looking to try and push them back at least a little bit, and they're waiting for this wraparound. Foxy, though, he looks away at the wrong time, and every single kill just quickly goes into that favor of FPX. Zipan, I have to say, is on an absolute tear. I think he had 15 kills already in the first half. He's at 22 right now.
Yeah, and this is a guy that we talked about, you know, said earlier on the desk, and God, it's been said for so long, since the Zipan Go kill days. This guy is one of the best in the world.
But that's the thing. There were two people I was really excited to see going into this event. One of them was Zipan, the other one was Leo. Leo had a god performance in the matches yesterday, and Zipan, right when they need it most, is stepping up to the table. There needs to be someone on the other side, and there has been strong performances. Scary still putting up numbers. I feel like Sushi Boys is the one that I now need to see if they're going to do well.
They heard the push on short. They think there's at least 2 players, maybe 3 coming up on A. They want to go to Garage, but they don't know that Scary is sat right here inside the smoke. It's so nasty. A frenzy in hand. He's able to take so much damage.
Oh.
That could have been greater, but Angel's low. It gives a chance to the players on the site still holding on. The Classics doing so much damage, and they'll win it. Xerxia with absolutely no right to take anything in this round, and they walk out with a win. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Oh, to sit inside the smoke like that, Scary, you're beautiful, man.
He outplayed the Boombot. He created a smoke for himself so that he could hide in the corner. And just the whole round just fell apart from that moment onwards. I mentioned Sushi Boys. He's able to slow them down and hold on to the site. And that's probably one of the most minuscule investments we've seen in this tournament so far. Otherwise, someone jumps out the window and gets shot in the face.
Well, it left FPX, who are playing this game at one of the best IGLs, one of the most experienced IGLs of all time in any FPS title. They've also got Cider coming in as a stand-in, who is an IGL in his own right, quite experienced in Valorant. And they just looked completely lost. It was chaos. It was chaos. They're just getting shot from every angle. Let's see if that happens again. Good hold by Surf. What?
He got hit by a Prowler.
Never.
It pushed him back, he sprays it down, and then continues to wipe out the entirety of FPX. Moments ago, this was looking like FPX was slowly dragging their way through to the finish line, and now we sit 10-10, a Prime Gaming flawless once again, and Surf once more proving why he's someone to fear. He only had 5 kills in the first half.
I'll tell you what, Angel's not going to be getting his card touched up after this one. He's going to have a fear of Garage. That's unbelievable. Twice in a row now running in there. Once is a guy with a frenzy tucked in a smoke. It's ridiculous. This time, it's just a spray.
They didn't even get to the point where the smoke could have been. They're like, don't forget to check the... Oh,
yeah, check the corner. Oh, he was in front of us this time. Check in front next time. That's insane. What... Well done, Surf.
And look at the economy.
Look at the rifles, actually, that guy.
Tour de Force is all they really have for this round. Ultimates have been completely nullified. Bear in mind, they've used a fair few of them over the last couple of rounds to try and drag things through. They've spotted some of the utility on the edge of the smoke. Well, Sushi Boy is going to get there in the end. They do have a trade onto Foxy. Now, bear in mind, there is next to no weaponry put into this round. So anything that can be retrieved. Nice shot from Ardis.
Oh, Sushi.
Oh, is he going to check? I don't think he's going to check. He doesn't expect him in the corner. But, oh, it's a whip from Zipan. Not what they needed in this moment.
Not a pretty one. Not a pretty one at all. Still, Ardis lurking around here. He's gone outside of his TP for just a moment. You can see how slowly Xerxia are moving around this one, knowing that that op's on the other side.
Well, that's the thing. He's managed to put his trap into B, so he knows that no one could have really got aggressive around any of the angles other than the choke points or the back of sight. So they've managed to get a lot of space for free because of this. They've also got a passive hold into mid as well from Cider, so there's been no aggression from behind. They can get a pretty strong afterplant with nobody really being able to contest because they split themselves thin.
Look at the spike. It's right on top of the trap. It's a little, could have been a little bit to the right, maybe, but, you know, we'll forgive you for that one, Xiao. It's a hard placement. He's got himself into this corner now. Here comes Cruz. Does he pop a flash?
He's got so much.
Does he swing? It's the fact that Artis is holding it first, right? The shot's going to come through, but... Oh, hold on. He's pushing. I saw Xiao start to step forward. It looked like he wanted to go all the way. And he might now. He might try to tuck into A.
Like, he's got to be careful, otherwise he's going to be stuck. And I don't know if he managed to get detained. It didn't matter in the end, he did. But Sidus actually killed him off instead. And
if Sushi Boys killed him there, he won the round.
Yep, basically. Because Ardis is slow meant he was stuck.
That is so... That would have been something.
The thing is, though, with the other two players within the site and them knowing that, I don't know why you would have expected Cider to be playing in the window on his own. Like, you kind of expect him to be in that hold with them because it's just a little bit odd anybody actually having that utility being there. So 11 to 10, FPX take the lead back. You do have yourself the Rolling Thunder. Operator still available, and money not really an issue for XIA at this point.
Wait, did I see someone? Xiao's playing on light shields. Xiao, what are you doing? I mean, he's only up against Vandals and an AWP, so, I mean, as long as Surf doesn't pull out the shorty and headshot him, we're all good. If that ends up happening, I will concede it's a curse. I'll give you that.
That's what we're waiting for, to see if Xiao dies to a shorty.
From Surf. Oh, I might die to the AWP from it. That's a nice little spot for him down below, swinging out, and he's not got the kill. That's a leg shot to Zipan.
Oh, and the swing around. It's given Angel an opportunity, shorty out, but it's not the right man in position, and he's so desperately low. Not going to be this time, at least.
What a kill!
They've still damaged up. Scary, not really wanting to take the risk in this scenario. They don't have any ults to get them back in this time. No lockdown available. Utility at a minimum. They've got to be careful where they place it. They've got to read the positions of where their opponents are going to be. They've tried to almost make a gap through. They actually have. They bypassed one, but Zipan lands the shot anyway. Left all onto Scary. 1 versus 3, and he's got to try and get into this corner. Zipan is landing every single shot. And FPX now have map and series point. A place in that upper bracket match versus DRX awaits unless XIA has anything left in the tank.
I was wondering, I wanted to see what XIA had economically because I couldn't quite recall how healthy it was, but it looks like they're not going to have an issue in buying up. Just because that 1v3 was like, it was tangibly lost, and to still go for it means you must have money in the back pocket, and indeed they do. The only thing here is Surf on light shields, but again, unless someone's pulling out something on the other side, it's all Vandals for those headshots, and Surf's going to be quite far away from them, you'd imagine. There's going to be an A push to start with. Again, XIA with 3 players there. This time there's no one tucked in sneaky in garage, but I'm sure FPX won't be checking that for a while. They'll probably steer clear of that position.
Interestingly, I think they actually went for the orb onto Nightfall instead. So Xiao's going to be retrieving that rather than actually going for the showstopper. So maybe just feeling like that's going to be the thing to give them more opportunities.
Maybe you just say Zipan's going to kill 7 people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe Zipan's going to get a kill anyway, and then it doesn't really matter. Surf's aggressive position, though, it's going to be checked for. They always seem to be very aware of these angles, and now might even be holding for it, but he hasn't left. He's still just stuck around. He has been spotted, but again, they're a little bit wary. They're throwing everything at him just to try and force him back.
You know, that is incredible that Surf didn't even use his dash there. He was so confident in being able to get out that he just ran, like, shoots the Lear up top, and then he's just getting out. I don't know how, or the Han, sorry, not the Lear. But he shoots it up top, puts down his Cloud Burst, and doesn't dash. Fair play, he's got that online now. Could potentially help them on the fight here on B.
Do they have the horn? It doesn't seem like they do. This was the plan last time that he goes up here, is that there's a horn. Instead, jumping in.
Turn around, Cider! Turn around!
They are back-to-back within the site. They have absolutely no idea, but it doesn't seem to matter. Cider's going to get away with it. A massive misplay. They didn't have the sound because of the Nightfall going through, and that actually grants him 3 kills. Even still, a 2v2, timer ticking. They have to go into this B site at this point, and even just denying the plant could be enough, but there is no one there to be able to do it.
Artis has TP, but if he goes now, Killjoy's watching it, stood right outside. He cannot use that. I think he should know that. Suspected, perhaps. Angel detecting one to the right side. He knows there's a flank possibly underway. And now he's been caught off. Artis has to do it all. He's sneaking around. They have no idea where he could be. Oh, now they do. They seem to have a great idea. Oh, no. The right side open and Artis flicks. That is incredible. The timing couldn't have been better. They'll win this out in 2-1 fashion. It wasn't quick. It wasn't clean. But FPX, they found success here in their LAN debut.
And it's going to be FPX facing off against DRX for the spot to make it out of the groups. They've been wounded, as was said, but they are here to fight, here to play, and unfortunately for Xerxia, that is going to send them down into that lower bracket match. Still, though, putting up performances, Surf still showing that he is a player to fear, and this was genuinely impressive. They utilized the fact that they had themselves that Nightfall to just deafen everyone as he TP'd into the back of the site, and the fact that they were back-to-back just moments later, and even still, Xerxia fought back, and it took a Red Bull clutch from Artis to actually close out the game. Incredible stuff from him.
I can't believe that. I mean, that whole time that you're just seeing him, Cider stood on the back side. He's just, every fiber of your being begging him to turn around. And he got it done in the end, and an impressive turnaround from him. I think that first half was incredibly flat from Cider. I called it out going into the second, and he had that resurgence.
Ended positive.
Absolutely. Oh, he did, yeah, 14 and 13. Good spot. So altogether, an amazing turnaround. I think he had 3 kills at the half?
Yeah, something like that. And I think for a debut, again, you're trying to slot in, playing different roles within the team. Obviously, you still needed those superstars of Zipan and Artis to play the game that we know they can. And that's the thing. I think there's been many highlights, many talks about the fact that Saigetsu isn't here, but there is a lot of depth of talent when it comes to this FPX roster. Some of it even being the IGL doing crazy things along the way, but ultimately, we've seen that star of Zipan rise in this final map, and I'm hoping this is just the start of something for FPX.
And you have to think, you know, for FPX, coming in here, they've got their stand-in, all that sort of stuff, but it's Cider in particular, I want to say, the pressure this guy must have that he's facing, coming into an international event, standing in for a very prestigious team, one with some of the best players we've got in the world, some that have proven themselves, era-defined, and he's coming in. If he does badly, that's a black mark against you in your career.
It's not even so much that. I feel like if it was me in that sort of scenario, this team didn't get to go last time because they couldn't get the players here.
Yes.
Now they get to go, but it's with you. If you fail them, you're going to feel like you let them down. On their attempt to finally play on LAN, he did not do that.
Yeah.
And in fact, at the end, he was one of the reasons they were able to close this map in the first place, as Xerxia were definitely building back in. So hopefully that might be some of the jitters out of the way, because he has had some slower starts, but it's not about the way you start, it's about the way you finish.
And that's exactly it. I think the best example there is the fact that, sure, we say Cider, first half, 3 kills, yada, yada. Surf, I think he had 5.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the turnaround from him as